If you're an empty nester thinking about Charleston, South Carolina, or you're looking for a second home here, maybe you're done with the snow, you're done with the commuting, you're done with the big house maintenance, then this video is for you. Because choosing Charleston is one thing, but choosing the right area around Charleston is what determines whether you feel like you've upgraded your lifestyle or you've just traded one set of issues for another. In the next few minutes, I'm gonna break down the top 4 areas of Charleston, South Carolina for empty nesters from a local's perspective. I'll be talking day-to-day stuff like real estate realities, drive times, flood and insurance considerations, and what people wish they knew before buying. And here's a quick heads up. If you're relocating or buying a second home here, I have a Charleston relocation guide that I'll give you for free. It's the same guide I use to help all my out-of-town buyers get clear on neighborhoods, costs, and everything else that buyers need to know. So stick around to the end. I'll tell you how to exactly grab that. My name is Jason Carton, and I'm a realtor here in Charleston, South Carolina with Carolina One Real Estate. I grew up here on Sullivan's Island and in Mount Pleasant during the 70s and 80s, and I can offer insight like only a true local can. There's very little I haven't experienced here, so when I talk about these areas, it's coming from real life experience. Plus, what I see every week working with buyers who are empty nesters, second home buyers, and people relocating from the Northeast. And if you'll stick around to the end of this video, I'll give you another locals nugget and the single most thing you need to know before moving to Charleston. All right, well, let's move into the top 4 spots. We're starting with the one place that's near and dear to my heart, and that is Mount Pleasant. This is where I call home, and I'll say it plainly, if you want the safest, highest confidence move for an empty nester, Mount Pleasant is usually where the conversation starts. Here's why Mount Pleasant gets a lot of buyers' attention. You get space, but you're not really out in the middle of nowhere. You get restaurants, shopping, medical, and services everywhere. You get access to the beaches at Isle of Palms and Sullivan's Island, and you're close to downtown Charleston without having to live downtown. Mount Pleasant is that place where you can still get a home that feels like a home, have a yard, a garage, storage, guest rooms for the kids and the grandkids, but your day-to-day is still simple. You can be as active as you want, boating, tennis, golf, trails, you can just chill and enjoy everything that the lifestyle offers in Mount Pleasant. Now, real estate wise, Mount Pleasant tends to hold value because demand is constant. Even when the market cools, Mount Pleasant doesn't usually fall apart. And for empty nesters here, the big decision is typically, do you want walkability and charm, or do you want newer construction and amenities? And so here's just a few things to kind of watch out for. And the first is, traffic. And you're going to hear this a little bit here in these videos today and coming. Mount Pleasant can feel real easy until you pick the wrong side of a school corridor, or you're trying to cross town, at the wrong time of day. Flood zones are going to vary here. You can have 2 houses that look similar on paper and one has a completely different flood or insurance profile than the other. Price per square foot can surprise people here too. You're paying for locations, schools, convenience, and long-term demand. Mount Pleasant is best for the empty nester who wants convenience and services, a strong resale market, a variety of neighborhoods and home styles, proximity to the beaches and downtown without living in the middle of it. So if you want Charleston, but you want to keep life easy, Mount Pleasant belongs on your short list, that's for sure. All right, next up is downtown Charleston, or the Peninsula. Downtown is for the empty nester who says, I'm done with driving everywhere. I want to walk to dinner. I want culture. I want energy. I want history. And if that's for you, downtown can absolutely feel like the lifestyle upgrade that you're looking for. You have world-class restaurants, art galleries, theaters, waterfront parks, events, and that Charleston magic that people really look for when they think of this city. It's also the best option if you're downsizing and you want the downsizing actually to feel like freedom, not just a smaller house with the same set of errands. Now, let me give you the real deal on downtown real estate, as it is different. It's not like the suburbs where you can compare 5 similar homes on similar lots. Downtown has historic homes, obviously, from different eras and conditions and rules. And, then you've got condos with the different HOAs and regime structures. Parking realities, or let me say the lack of parking downtown, can be an issue. So some homes don't even have off-street parking. And really a different or totally different approach to insurance and maintenance downtown. Now, a big thing empty nesters need to decide about downtown is, do you want the single family historic home charm, or do you want the condo convenience? Historic charm is incredible until you realize the older homes can come with older home responsibilities. Condo convenience is fantastic until you realize HOAs and the rules matter a lot. And so you just need to read all the details so you can be sure on what's right for you. Some things to watch out for downtown still are going to be, flooding and insurance. Downtown is beautiful, but it's also, extremely micro-specific with street and elevation, and you can be a block apart and have different, realities of your scenario. Parking, again, it sounds boring until you actually live it. If you want daily, easy living, parking is going to matter. Tourism and events, some people love the energy. Some people buy, but then they realize it's just a little more than what they want. Downtown is best for the empty nesters who want walkability as a lifestyle, restaurants and culture at their fingertips, a true Charleston experience, a place that feels special every time you step outside. And if you're the type who wants a morning coffee, an afternoon stroll, and then dinner, without getting in the car, downtown is your best bet. Now, let's talk about the sleeper pick that a lot of empty nesters fall in love here once they actually visit, and that's James Island. James Island sits in this sweet spot, really. It's like you're close to downtown Charleston. You're also close to Folly Beach, and you can still get that neighborhood feel without some of the pricing you'll see in Mount Pleasant or downtown. James Island is for that person who wants a relaxed local vibe, quick access to the water and outdoor life, a real Charleston proximity without feeling like you're living in a tourist zone. You've got parks, marsh views, local restaurants. You can easily run downtown. And so, it's just a really laid back vibe on James Island. And also, if you're a beach person, but you don't necessarily need to live on the beach, James Island is a great way to stay close to Folly without getting all in on, the beach pricing out there. The real estate on James Island is a mix of older homes, newer pockets, and some really great neighborhoods that are still like hidden gems. A lot of empty nesters like James Island because you can often find those one-story ranch styles, the homes with mature trees and character, neighborhoods that feel established, not cookie cutter at all. And here's the honest truth. For many buyers, James Island feels more like the old Charleston, or, it's still a little gritty in spots in a charming way. Now, but it's very less, polished than, say, Mount Pleasant, and some people like that, and that's great. So James Island's just got a lot to offer, so definitely you want to look into it. But, James Island's got its own set of things to look out for. Similarly, the flood zones, and, just like in Mount Pleasant, you can be really close to each other and have a different set of considerations when it comes to your flood insurance. You've got the traffic choke points on James Island, going out to Folly Beach on Folly Road during the summertime can be challenging. Let's just say that. Neighborhood by neighborhood variation too is one thing to think about. One street can feel totally different than the next, and you just can't say James Island really and say that, all the neighborhoods or the homes are the same. James Island is best for the empty nesters who like close proximity to downtown and Folly Beach, a local vibe, a mix of home styles and price points, outdoor lifestyle without the tourist intensity. And if Mount Pleasant feels too polished and downtown feels too intense, then James Island is often just the perfect spot. Okay, well, this will be the last one we cover, but last but not least, and that's Daniel Island. Daniel Island is a world in itself, really, in a great way. If you like the idea of a planned community where everything is clean, organized, and lifestyle driven, Daniel Island checks that box, and it tends to attract the empty nesters who really like a strong community feel, sidewalks, trails, and neighborhood events, golf, tennis, and club lifestyle options, and a lock and leave ease that is, really for second home owners here. A lot of people describe Daniel Island, it feels like a resort community, but still close to Charleston, and that's what it is. And if you're someone who wants to be active, walking, biking, tennis, fitness, and social events to boot, it's very easy to plug into the lifestyle here. Real estate on Daniel Island can vary, but it leans a lot towards the newer homes, if you will, compared to downtown and parts of James Island. It's truly community oriented, HOA driven. It's not a bad thing, but you just need to know the different layers. You've got beautiful homes, townhomes, condos, and properties that feel very turnkey. And for those empty nesters who are done with the surprise repairs and constant projects, Daniel Island can be a breath of fresh air. Daniel Island is not exempt from, things to look out for there. And the big ones are going to be your HOA rules. Not bad again, but you just got to know what you're signing up for. Your commute pattern is going to, be different here. If you're going downtown daily at different times, you'll definitely feel that. It's not crazy, but it does matter. Price points, you're paying for a curated lifestyle and a strong community with all those amenities. Daniel Island is best for the empty nester who's looking for that planned community with amenities, an active social lifestyle, newer homes and easy living, strong neighborhood pride and organization. And if you want that next chapter just to feel clean, simple, and community-centered, Daniel Island is a strong contender. So if you said, Jason, just simplify it for me, here's that quick version. Mount Pleasant is going to be the easiest all-around choice for convenience, services, and long-term value. Downtown is walkable, historic, culture-first type lifestyle, but more variables and higher complexity. James Island is local, laid back, close to downtown and Folly. Great value if you pick the right pocket. Daniel Island is planned with amenities and active community, a vibe for it, and is ideal for easy living and social lifestyle. And so here's the one thing you need to know before buying a home in Charleston. That is, the best one is really, it's not what's best on paper. The best one is actually what fits how you actually want to live Monday through Thursday here, not just how you want to feel on the weekends. So if you're an empty nester considering Charleston, South Carolina, or whether you're relocating full-time or buying a second home here, don't guess your way through this. The neighborhoods here are micro markets, and the stuff that matters most, insurance, flood zones, traffic patterns, lifestyle fit, doesn't always show up on the listing photos. That's exactly why I put together my Charleston relocation guide. It's designed to help you get clarity fast and like what areas fit your lifestyle, what costs to expect, and what to watch out for before you buy. And if you'd like to get it, here's what you do. Just grab the guide down below in the description. You'll see it in the link down below this video. And if you'd like help narrowing down which of these 4 areas fits you best, reach out to me directly. I'm happy to talk through your timeline, your budget, and really what you're looking for and what you want the next chapter to really look like. You can even schedule a call with me below as well. You'll see that in the description. And if you found this helpful, just please do me a favor. You've heard, I'm sure, about the algorithm, but if you can like the video, subscribe to my channel, and even in the comments, tell me what you like and what you didn't like, maybe what areas of town you want to see next on the next videos. I'm Jason Carton with Carolina One Real Estate, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day.